Vaughn, ever since you have come out of that hellhole, or Shadowlands, or whatever they called it, you have been running from this bastard, the one who shot at you in a bar once, and he seems very, very adamant about catching you. Your illusions can't really be anything too excessive, otherwise he won't believe it. So he's no fool, and he has hit you quite a few times with bullets, but you've always managed to get away somehow. You're on a rooftop right now, and he is walking below. You've just escaped him again, and you can hear him rattling down, or rattling around down there, looking for you. You're about 4 stories up at the moment.
And I'm just like looking at him, like kind of like a daredevil crouch, like looking down at him. What do I know about this guy? Like, why do I know what the animus towards me is from, or like, do I know his story at all?
At first you just thought it was because you're a vampire, but it seems more personal, but you haven't exactly had a conversation with the guy. He's just, he does not care about civilians around you or anything else. So he seems very focused on getting you down, but you can't really remember the guy's face before that evening in the bar where you met James, hanging out with Benjamin.
So I'm gonna watch him. Let's see. I was thinking sense the beast, but I kind of already know that he's after me. So, I'm just gonna watch what he does. I'm gonna watch the way he walks. I'm gonna look at his demeanor when he doesn't know I'm there. Kind of like give him like a once over now that I'm viewing him in a non-combat scenario to get kind of like a read on him.
Yeah. Can you do a stealth roll?
Yes.
With either wits, dex, or composure. And can't do it like that. The difficulty is 4.
4. I'll do wits. Yeah, let's just do wits. No modifiers.
2. Do you want to reroll some of those?
I actually do. Yeah. So
First roll. Already going to burn through some of that willpower.
Your beast is very excited, by the way, by all this chasing and running around. It's having the best time of its life. Or on life, rather.
And so I can reroll. I can reroll up to 3.
Yeah.
It's 3.
He looks up, and you're kind of like hunched over and looking down. He sees your face, and he aims up with the gun. You pull back, fortunately, but he knows where you are. You can hear him. He's running towards the main door to this apartment building, probably to get to the stairs.
All right. So what I'm going to do is, I imagine there's kind of like this doorway that he can go on, he can come out of, and he's gonna, pop out of there with a gun and everything. I'm going to climb on.
It's not a doorway, but it's a trapdoor.
A trapdoor? Okay. I'm going to find a place, preferably something that's like the higher ground, and I'm just going to sit there, and I'd like to use Unseen Passage and Silence of Death.
Yeah.
So I got to rouse from that. Hey! Okay.
Success.
Oh, and it says I have 0 hunger, is that correct?
I think so, because the last thing you did last time was have a glass with Victor.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, just wanted to make sure. So what I do is Silence of Death and Unseen Passage, and I'm just sort of like sitting there, and I'd like to rouse again and Fata Morgana me.
Before you do that, can you do a Wits and Obfuscate for me?
Wits and Obfuscate, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Wits and Discipline, okay. No modifiers?
No modifiers.
That's 1.
1?
Indeed.
Do you want to reroll?
My precious willpower. I think I need
Come
to.
on, you don't need it. The beast has your back. Just
Oh my
use it.
god.
Oh,
Okay, I got 2 total.
one's back.
2 willpower down.
Back.
2 successes. Alrighty. Well, he comes up, bursting out of the lid, or the hatch door, and looks around. You can see he's just aiming around, trying to figure out where you are.
May I rouse for Fata Morgana?
Yep.
Hey! At least those are pretty good, I suppose. And then Fata Morgana. And I just want to make like as realistic of a version as me as I can. Just sort of like reclined on the edge of the edge of the building.
Mm.
So visual. So I guess that's 3, 1 plus 2 senses. So just vision and hearing.
Vision in here.
So
Do you want to
I probably should have
these?
specified.
Yeah.
Do you think I should reroll?
Let me tell you in a second.
Shit.
6 with a crit.
Okay. All right. So not noticing that. So the illusion just looks at him and says, "All right. What do you want? What do you want from me?"
He comes out the hatch door, and I think the best way to do this with the obfuscate thing is that he comes out, he obviously aims his gun at you, shoots twice, the bullets go through, you don't react, and you're sitting right next to him, and he's aiming that way. Where you think the illusion is saying it, you're saying it, but you have time to react. But he just shot after the illusion and he's turning towards you. He's still kind of halfway out of the hatch door.
Mm.
The beast in your head goes, "Just kick the hatch! Tear his head off!"
So this is like a split second. Like I need to do something immediately right now.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna rouse again. I'm going to do blood potency. Ugh. Hey. So, and I'd like to use a power that I've never used before, and that is Eyes of the Serpent.
Oh,
Charisma and Discipline versus Wits and Composure. And then I get 2 modifiers because of the blood potency. Yeah, because
yeah,
I rouse the blood. Okay.
yeah.
Oh!
Wit and composure, you say?
Yeah, this is Wits and Composure. Finally.
Well, he has 3 successes and you have 6 with a crit. So you lock eyes with this guy, and he is completely paralyzed.
So I look at him, and I just keep looking him in the eyes. I don't know who you are. I don't know why you're after me. I don't know if you have some sort of vendetta against me. And Vaughn's eyes are like yellowish with the hints of green, like the eyes of a snake, and they're like slits. You're gonna let this go.
This
has gone on long enough.
He's looking at you with hatred and anger, and he's quite frustrated that he can't move his body.
I'm going to take his gun, toss it to the ground, and without breaking eye contact with him, I take out a Saturday Night Special, and I hold it up kind of like this, and I put it below his chin. Tonight, I'm giving you your life. I could easily take it right now, but I'm not going to. You're gonna let this go. Go back to your life. And if you don't have one, start a new one. Savvy.
Well, he can't really respond, but
And he just smiles. And then slowly backs up, puts the Saturday Night Special away without breaking eye contact, and just falls back over the edge of the building and he's weight of the feather.
you hit the ground before like shots are fired, but they're not even fired in your direction. It's just frustration. It seems he's lost you again. And you're walking in an alley rapidly. The beast is laughing in your head. Again? This is the 5th time?
I'm not
Um,
going to. I'm going to try my best not to kill him. I'm going to try my best.
this is fun, so I can't complain.
I do like the chase, but that's not the reason I'm doing this. There's enough people dying. I'm tired of it.
I'm not.
And I know you're not. But you need to shut up for a little while. You're getting on my nerves.
You get a text from Killjoy saying to meet you or meet him in an alley next to a kiosk in Redbridge. The kiosk has a glowing flower in the window, apparently. Now, here's the issue. You're in Enfield at the moment. And, albeit brief, you have seen the news. And Autumn Forest has closed down the entire borough because apparently there has been some kind of a rapidly spreading disease, some kind of flu, going through the area.
Oh no.
The entire borough is quarantined and you have to be scanned on the way in and out of it. Which could
Jesus,
mean, well, nothing or antigen traps.
Shit.
Well, you can go around though. Just gonna take longer.
I'll take the long way.
You'll take the long way?
Has Vaughn received any updates about the search for Naomi?
No, not yet. You have been running.
I've been running the entire time. Like, this guy's chasing me like the Terminator. All right. I'll take the long way. And as I'm going, I'd like to like look up and see if I see the person on the roof, if he's looking down at me or if he sees me at all.
You do not see him. You see a large raven looking down at you. The raven you recognize. It's your messenger between you and Marcus. But it's just sitting on the rooftop about 3 stories up. You're in an alley. A narrow alley at the moment.
And if it's looking at me, I just go like that, not tilt my head over so it'll come down to me so it can land on my shoulder.
It flies down with and lands on your shoulder. It rubs its beak against your beard for a moment, and then it says, Marcus will find you soon. He needs to talk.
All right. Send back the message, ask him where, and here for your troubles. And I give, I think I named him Hugin or something, and I give like, what do ravens eat? I think it'd probably be like a little Debbie that I was eating, like a little Swiss cake roll, and I was like, here you go.
Is there anything else you want to do before you start running towards Redbridge?
No, I think I'm just gonna begin like taking the long way, but going across like jumping from rooftop to rooftop.
So you're gonna get high again.
Yeah,
Literally.
that's right.
Yeah.
Level on the way.
Hell yeah. You know
Killjoy.
it.
Sorry, did you want to?
Oh no, I'm done. Sorry. Yeah.
Killjoy, you are in an abandoned tube station with Nemesis, It's her tube station, not yours.
Yeah.
Seems to be a theme.
Yeah.
You have been fighting down here just for fun, with
Okay.
just with potents, for the hell of it. The thunderous clasps echoing up the halls of the tunnels rather. She's adept at fighting. Like this, you are almost equals, but with disciplines, she has advanced you in power, but not in knowledge. But like this, you're pretty much equals, and you're both having fun with it, not trying to kill each other or anything, but actually training together. At some point, you stop for reasons, and she asks you. She smiles at you, and she says, "Have you made any plans yet regarding that blood hunt situation?"
Plans, not in any concrete form, but ideas, as always, are forming. I will need more info before I actually strike, but I have recently acquired what I believe is my main attempt to begin a plan to call the hunt. I just need now an opportunity. And I'm patient to wait for one. To actively seek it out, I think, would potentially put me in danger. If there's any suspicious activity on my hand before this is done, then that would not be wise. Instead, I shall lie in wait. Are you eager?
I still don't understand why you're willing to play the Camarillas games, but I respect your decision. I'm not eager for that. I'm eager for you to help me out. And it seems that for you to do that, I have to help you out first.
Yes, you do.
She walks over to a blanket covering something and unravels or reveals a looks like an altar been shaped out of the stone. Completely perfect, flawless. There's not a crack or anything in it. On top of it is a small ball made of silver, it looks like, and a statue of a woman holding out an old school scale and a sword in the other hand. The woman is also blinded. And Nemesis is looking at it, smiling.
The Lady of Justice.
Indeed. I'm building a nuke.
You're building a nuke.
Something so nothing or no one can get in our way.
I don't particularly like nukes.
Oh, it's the best alternative. It's rather this than the actual apocalypse. And we don't have to use it. But that means we have it.
I forget how young you are sometimes. Yes, of course we don't have to use it. That's why we build it, so that we don't have to use it. That's why I build lots of things, actually, so that I don't use them. Okay, you're building a nuke. It's strange because the nuclear weapons I've heard of don't look like stone altars.
Well, see, here's the idea. Here's what I need you for, really. Other than, I'm fond of you, let's say. But I need to get close to the sword with an object that I've built to get some very specific energy. So I can use the altar to pull a part of Arishot out. A spirit, kinda. Getting closer to having her physical body. But this is a temporary solution, since we cannot actually get the sword itself. I don't think at the moment.
I think that would be difficult.
but we can't just close to it, just within proximity of it. And I could absorb some of the salt's power, finishing the altar. Perhaps bring back your forefather too.
My forefather?
It's a bit complicated, but in the traditional Book of Nod, Cain had 13, or not 13, he had 3 children, and they had 13, but some people don't know that Cain had a 4th. And that 4th was Asenil, and that is where we come from.
Sorry, the Book of what?
Not the Bible? Vampire Bible? You've not read it? Really?
No, I've stuck with the traditional one. That one I know exactly how flawed it is.
But there's nothing about you in it.
Got to... Again, you're young, but there's the whole story of humanity in it, and we are, at our core, human.
Well, not anymore.
No, you're trying to change your core. That doesn't mean it has changed. You're still selfish.
Well, apparently we are cursed. But still, to see your actual Methuselah in front of you, wouldn't that be grandiose and amazing? Marvelous, even?
That's what this is. You're trying to get a Methuselah back to life.
Well, 2 at the moment, but
2.
obviously Arishad has priority.
Naturally. Well, that would be very tempting.
You said it yourself, there's a problem with Mithras.
Yes, why don't... Have you ever heard, it's a wonderful English tale, of the little old lady who swallowed a fly?
I don't believe I have.
Well, there was a little old lady who swallowed a fly. Then she died. Do you know why? Because time passed whilst we continued to move on immortal. Didn't matter what happened next to her. We have our time. We do not need to rush this. Understand?
No, I have been patient.
It will continue practicing it, my dear.
The thought first, then we take it from there.
I do want you to know that I do wish you to live. And that is why I'm counseling this.
Well, I appreciate your counsel, dear cousin.
Yes.
Can be hot-headed sometimes. Forget my composure.
Maybe you should run to Asia and back. That would give you some more worldly wisdom.
Asia. What's in Asia?
Not a nuke.
Well. You, hear your phone buzz. Probably from a jacket on top of a crate somewhere. Because you have been fighting. And it's a text from Vaughn saying, "I'm here," with a question mark.
We have a visitor. Mr. Hampton.
I'll go get him then. Vaughn, something appears right next to you and grabs a hold of you. And then you hear poof, and then you're in a an old tube station of all things. Killjoy's standing 2 meters from you. You see an altar in front of you, you believe. There's a pile of blankets and the stench of corpses.
What? Wait, what is happening? Who
next
are
to
you?
you,
And I'm like looking at the person.
She's a white-haired woman with ice blue eyes. And a very cold and mean look on her. But somehow still smiling. very unnerving. She moves away from you and just tapping you on the back as she does.
Shit, is this where you guys live or something? What is this? Looking around at like how grimy it is.
Oh,
Not
this
where
is
I live.
my haven.
Oh. Well. I think it's nice.
She smiles.
Sort of quaint.
Don't touch the nuke, and I'll point at the the altar.
A nuke? Wait, what do you mean by an... And he's like looking at it like...
It's nothing.
I'm just kidding.
Nothing is called a nuke lightly. What is that?
It's an abbreviation. Don't think more of it.
I like the sense of ease on this woman. Like, I don't...
What is the
It was,
opposed role? Composer subterfuge. Okay.
That's a 3.
Alrighty.
And let me...
There we go. How much is that? 2. Well, the beast is there. She's not aggressive. She does not seem to perceive you as a threat.
All right. Okay. And
But it's very much below the surface. But she seems to be in control of it somehow.
am I able to... I just like... It's right if I take a look at this not nuke? If that's all right?
It's just stone and metal, she says.
All right.
Just don't touch the statue.
And Vaughn will walk up and like look at it, like sort of like investigating it over.
Nothing seems to be inscribed on the stone or anything, and the statue seems plain but old.
And she said not to touch it. I'm just gonna I've been doing pretty good with rounds. I'm just gonna Fata Morgana, little hand, just go and touch the statue to see if there is any effect. Like I'd rather whatever energy is in the illusion. I'm wondering if I can touch the statue with it.
Rousing success.
So yeah. Not that I'm trying to fool anybody, I'm just trying to connect with my energy to this thing.
8 successes. Well, it is still an illusion, so it does nothing.
Yeah, it does nothing.
No,
Okay.
unfortunately.
I didn't know if it would have.
But you get a reaction from Nemesis. She blinks next to you, as you do, and grabs your wrist. She believes the illusion.
Does she grab the illusory wrist?
Yeah.
And then
I guess her hand is like right in front of yours at this moment.
And then the illusory wrist turns into bubbles and like flies up around her face. Oh, sorry.
She's smiling, annoyed, saying, "Quaint."
I just wanted to see what would happen. Just a little experiment.
I suggest if you want to keep your arm, don't touch it.
Yeah. Killjoy will like walk around the other side of Vaughn and be like, "She's testy. Don't."
And then the bubbles just form like 2 thumbs up, and he just walks away from the altar.
Good one. Yeah.
I'm eyeing that hunger gain from her right now. It scared me.
She seems quite fast. That's all I can say.
All right.
Much like Naomi.
So Vaughn
Sorry.
I was gonna say, yeah, Vaughn walks away from the altar, giving bubble finger guns.
She follows you, moving parallel, watching you from the side. You kind of feel like you're a deer and she's a lion just stalking you at the moment. But
I flash Eyes of the Serpent just for effect, not for any actual, like just aesthetic Eyes of the Serpent, not.
she smiles, looks at Killjoy and say, I like him.
Yes, and you both have very large cocks, I understand.
Thank you.
But we are at least, if not friends, able to get along without having to one-up each other, okay?
I'm not one-upping anybody. I'm just conducting myself.
Nemesis sits on a couple of crates very nonchalantly after that comment and just looks at you, Vaughn, with a smile. It's still unnerving. She's beautiful, but there's no charisma about her.
She's very corpse-like, right? And I just look at her and reach into my pocket and take out some Flamin' Hot Cheetos. Just take a bite and just keep eye contact with her. Well, you want a bite? You want something?
The lights begin to flicker. The very small amount that's in here. And she's just staring stiffly at you, still with a smile, just as stiff as the light flicker. Just
Someone's
for
gonna kill me.
a couple of seconds, and then she looks to Killjoy. Why are we having this meeting? I'm bored now.
Well, Vaughn here is an avid, and I would say excellent remover of that obstacle. He also has a proclivity to avoid boredom wherever possible. I thought that perhaps you two might get along.
So
Though you are as missable as water and oil, it seems. I think.
So, is this like a date thing, or is this about Naomi?
Yes, I want you two to become lovers.
You already got a green light with me. He just looks at her and smiles, flashes fangs.
She goes, such a mundane need. To even speak of it. Sex, food, below a god.
As you see, you have lots to talk about.
Yikes. And so, but Vaughn's face suddenly gets serious and he stands up and walks towards Killjoy. But honestly, how's Naomi? I haven't been around. I've been dealing with some shit. And then I kind of like open up my coat and you can see like holes in my shirt from where I was shot and then healed up. Is she all right?
Are you all right?
I think so.
Did you
I
take
hope
care of it? Or does it need taken care of? Or
I think I dealt with it in my own way. I think.
if you need help again, I am there.
I appreciate it. But I know the kind of help you offer and not begrudging you, not judging you. But
I'm not a one-trick pony.
my apologies then.
Not
I'll
at
keep
all.
it in mind.
You're a brother and you need help. I will attempt to be there. Because what I want us to do is work together, if that is possible.
Nemesis is
I don't see why
looking
not.
at her nails at the moment. Looking like she's very bored with your guys' conversation. Because she does not understand the emotion or anything like other people related. It seems. It's very clear, at least, that her humanity is faltering.
Nemesis, are you familiar with the adage, the lone wolf dies and the pack survives?
Why do you think I want your help?
Exactly, that is what I'm talking about. You need to actually pay some form of attention. This is the price. It is fucking boring, I know.
She looks at you like she realizes something. Vaughn, she completely changes her persona. So her smile is warm. You can see the
Much
she's
better.
blushing.
Yes.
She walks towards you, Vaughn, takes your arm, smiling. She's really beautiful right now, and she says, "Shall we go out then? Have some fun."
Killjoy will give a small nod. I'm like, please do this for me.
And Vaughn just like taken aback by this switch. He's just like, may I use sense the beast real quick, just real fast? Because I don't know if this is like if there's a genuineness to her, but
Nice.
Is there a need for me to roll? I can't see the result.
4 total. Let me look at.
Nope, 1. That's more than enough. Well, she seems nicer and she's not hostile, but she kind of still wants to eat you.
Oh, so this is very much like a sociopathic switch.
It seems like she's a very good actress.
What is it you want to do?
I don't know. Go out, get some dinner.
Is dinner me?
No. I wouldn't want to be bound to you, then I would have to kill you.
That is sexy. And then Vaughn just kind of like turns back to Killjoy. But how is Naomi? Did
I
you
haven't
guys
heard
her out?
too much, but I'm sure she's fine. I think she's out now. But judging from the reports I'm hearing, I don't think necessarily she was out cleanly or something else came up. But, I mean, have you been... I've heard that one of the boroughs of London is closed off. I hope it has nothing to do with Naomi or the coterie, but we will find out. I think there will be a meeting later or something.
What time?
In a couple of hours. You have a short amount of time to get out, see the sights, and then enjoy yourself.
All right, I might need to make a pit stop, pick up more Cheetos, and holds up the bag. But really, I'm thinking about Marcus and wondering if Hugin's going to show up at any moment.
Nemesis says, "Are you gonna bring Cheetos to a council meeting?" She's smiling from ear to ear.
Are you going to bring that smile with you to the meeting?
Oh, I won't be there, dear. I'm not good with the Camarilla, but I'll get you the crunchiest snacks you can get for that meeting.
Are they the bones of your enemies?
If you would like that. She's serious.
I'm alright, thank you. And it just looks like Killjoy, like... Where'd you
Shall we
find
get
this
out?
woman?
She says she hands gestures towards you, Killjoy, to grab her wrist, because you know the only way in and out is through her. Otherwise, as she explains
Be
it,
stuck. Yeah.
the wards will go boom. And she says, "This Naomi, she visited me with Victor. She's more than fine."
See, I knew we could all get along.
So fine, in fact, that I had to ward this entire station. Because the Victor can apparently portal himself in.
Oh, we can't have that.
And
You can't have access to the device.
the lights go out in here, and you're pulled through shadow, and you're standing in an alley next to a kiosk with a glowing flower in the window. Is there anything else you want to do before we change scene?
Just be like, enjoy your date. And I will stroll off away from them. And if like Vaughn makes eye contact with me or something when Nemesis isn't looking, I'll be like, please, thank you. do this for me.
And Vaughn has been so blasé, but in this moment that he makes eye contact with Killjoy and does that, there's this brief moment of like a small bit of panic in his eyes as he turns back to look at Nemesis.
She is noticing none of this because she's pulling out a corvid bird from her breast pocket. It seems dead, but she snaps the neck of it and whispers something, pouring her blood over it, and she gains huge black wings made of smoke. And then she grabs you one and flies up.
He's like looking around.
So we can actually see London from above. Before we go to the next scene, I just want to know if there's any killing or anything like that. What's your reaction to these murders? It seems to be mostly. It seems to be mostly criminals she goes after, but she's having a blast with it, and it can be a bit grotesque for those of high humanity, such as yourself.
Vaughn would probably be like, honestly, what would probably happen is Vaughn would be like, the first one happens. He's like, I'm just throwing this out there, but it's actually better to leave them alive. You don't really, if you bodies start piling up, that attracts attention. Like, I'd rather be a regret that someone has, like a sexual encounter that they don't like, or they were like, oh, that was weird, I can't believe that happened, then their life stops. You ever thought about doing that? Because that's how I do it.
You're probably in a container area somewhere looking around. There were like 20 guys she killed with Stygian Shroud, and she just simply says, "Oh."
If it was like a couple dozen people, like Vaughn would even like, oh, what's over there, by the way? and I point over there. I point in like a direction.
Yeah, I love the idea of him like saying this speech, and then just like as he's kind of finishing it, just like a body goes flying into a container and just like,
exactly. I think that's perfect. Like, well, she kills someone, and then as he's having this conversation, activates Stygian Shroud, kills all these people, and then he's like, what's over there, by the way? And if the moment she turns and faces wherever I'm pointing, I'd like to unseen passage and silence of death and run away.
Yeah.
Get out of there.
You need to just do one roll before we enter the scene. Just the wits and obfuscate.
I need to rouse as well, if I remember.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Don't worry, buddy. I'm sure she won't kill you if she spots you.
And then obfuscate, and then unseen passage. Is this not? Oh, never mind. No modifiers. Wait, why was it 3? Why was it only 1? Do I have to roll for this, or I forget unseen passage?
Wits and obfuscate.
Oh, wits and obfuscate, my bad.
Against the difficulty 4.
Here we go. Come on, baby.
4.
Hey!
Yes!
I'll give this in the favor of the player.
Okay.
You get away, and then we move on.
So when she looks back, he's gone.
Yeah.
And he's like trying to get him, like going past the body. He's like, oh no, it's not good.
Trip over one and apologize, like, sorry.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's like twitching. He's like, oh fuck, oh what the fuck.
We change scene to Alex. You're standing in the room where the trunk of the tree is, at a table, looking at this very beautiful black book that you're about to open. Nera is standing very excitedly next to you, because you haven't actually, well, you've opened the book, but it shut itself immediately after. And you have figured out how to open it with your newfound knowledge of blood sorcery. You're understanding the fundamentals of how to handle objects like this.
Indeed, yeah. And with Nera's help, he's got the scene all laid out. There's a, there's new, in this room, there's statues that are now decorating the space, which are pulling forth the image and iconography of a particular primordial entity there. And so he also is, looking at this book. He's studying it. He's learning more about the rituals within it, things like that. He's learning how to manipulate the plants in the way that, in other words, he's establishing a bond with them, and the plant there, the trunk of the tree, and everything like that. He's learning. Alex is learning more about like the resonance and the energies that's flowing through the tree there, and kind of getting in tune with it like a musician getting in tune with a kind of ongoing rhythm there and finding his way into it. So he's on some subliminal level, he's connecting with the harmony of that sacred tree, which is a manifestation, an embodiment of Lilith's power.
You have been learning quite a few things, and as you're revering the Dark Mother and opening the book, a bright light blinds you, just for a second, and when you open them, you hear chirping birds. You see a tiny deer running past you. You're standing in a garden with a lot of fruit trees. The sun is in the skies, and at first you're filled with fear, but then you notice you don't recoil by the light of the sun. You feel the warmth, and then the vision moves below ground. You feel like you're seeing roots, or almost like you're a part of them. And then you see a large tree trunk where Bradford is being swallowed by it, being pulled into the tree.
Yeah.
And then you... Sorry?
It's at this time that he's also been keeping Bradford's ashes. And he basically, he's going to open up, his wrist, and basically with this tree, and, it's before him in this vision and everything. And he's going to basically water the soil with his vitae and the ashes. He's going to mix that together and kind of sprinkle them along, the base of the tree.
You do the ritual in your mind, and when you return to the real world, you're standing in front of the tree, doing exactly what you just did.
Mm-hmm.
Nera, she taps you on the shoulder, she's smiling, and she says, "It looks like you're gone for a moment. We'll have to talk about it at some other time, because I'm very excited to hear, but I believe Arthur is here, the King of Shadows."
Okay. He is going to pack away everything, but he wants to make sure that the ritual is complete before he admits Arthur. And he's not going to rush this. Arthur can wait a few more minutes, to make sure that the energies in the room that the ritual is complete. In other words, nothing is rushed. He's not going to interrupt it part of the way. He's going to slowly put everything back as it was, and
when the ritual is done, you close the book, of course, because it can't just be lying around like that.
Right.
And there's a tiny vine growing out of the book after the ritual is done, on the back of it, or the spine rather, just a couple of inches, a few centimeters.
Alex is going to give it a small caress, just basically this is exactly, everything here is happening exactly as it needs to at this time. And every day everything grows is a day that progress has been made. And, every day that he feels more in tune with the growth of the tree and Lilith's presence becoming more and more pronounced here, he feels Alex feels a sense of accomplishment and peace because this is what he really wants, and yeah, he wants to make sure that he's made a number of improvements to the space to make sure that the book and all of the sacred implements are protected and guarded. So yeah, so he stores that away, of course, in a secret location. And
do you want to have the meeting in the Spy Master proof room, or do you care when it's the Spy Master sire? Or rather, would you like to show the Spy Master sire where your Spy Master proof room is?
That's a great question. Let's take him then. Let's take him to the Spy Master proof room.
He is shown in by Darius, who is, well, he just appears, really.
Of course, he's always nearby.
Always
He's
nearby.
not. Yeah.
You have quickly learned that he has very good senses, is very fast, and very, very hidden. And proving to be quite an adept of a sheriff. And dutiful as well. But
Also gives Alex some comfort.
the man who enters is an old school Nosferatu. He has long fingers, a long nose, pointed, well, also very long ears. His brow is very exposed, I want to say. He's wearing a top hat where holes have been made for the ears, and a penguin suit.
Indeed.
His beautiful shoes has no stains on them or anything, even though, well, he probably lives in the sewer, right? And he's twirling a cane as he enters. Very, very, like almost like he's skipping into the room. He seems quite joyous. And he's holding a folded up chessboard below the other arm. And walks into the room, puts it in front of you, and puts his hand forward. Prince Kyrus, nice to meet you.
And indeed, the pleasure is the same on this side of the table. It's nice to meet you after all this time. I've heard quite a lot about you. You keep yourself well hidden.
Well, it's my business.
Indeed. And from what I hear, you are the best in the business.
Well, I'm paid to keep secrets, not to tell them. Well, he folds out the board and starts setting up the pieces. Just like he assumes, why wouldn't you play? What can I do for you, my prince? I would like to serve the city I'm a part of. For a price, of course.
Well, you're a keeper of secrets.
Indeed I am.
And it's in my interest to make sure that you're keeping my secrets as well. And I'm wondering if you're interested in that.
Well, what are you willing to offer?
Well, there's many things I can offer. But the real question for someone as fashionable as yourself is, what is it that the keeper of secrets in the city of London desires most?
Secrets, of course.
Indeed.
I like to have easy way-ins to, well, easy access, really. So I know everything. And we don't have to do much to acquire the information. But you seem to be a hard man to keep an eye out for sometimes. You know, for the prince's best interest, of course.
Of course. Well, you have to have some secrets, indeed, or there'd be no secrets to have. Right? You know, to keep the game interesting, as it were. And he starts setting up the pieces on the board.
You know, since you are the prince, I'm willing to make a generous offer, befitting someone of your station, of course. If anyone wants to know your secrets, I will tell you before I tell them.
I appreciate that. That is indeed a generous offer.
Then you can decide what kind of price that is worth, depending on the secret.
Indeed.
But I won't sell about you without noticing you first, and also the price offered, though I cannot give up the clients.
Quite polite of you. That's a generous offer. Thank you. I have concerns.
Concerns, my prince.
Indeed. There are, of course, as I'm sure you're aware, a number of people who would like to have access to an amount of information that I personally hold or keep close to the vest. Life is such as ours is closer sometimes to a poker game than it is to a chess game. So,
he says, I don't like to gamble, as he moves a piece.
No, indeed. But sometimes the pieces we move and the moves we make are indeed full of risk and gambling. Particularly when you don't know which side you're playing for.
Well,
I wonder, indeed, without limiting your freedom, if you know which side you're playing for.
Mine.
Mm-hmm. Indeed, true for us all. But of course, alone, we find ourselves quickly overwhelmed by the number of other players around the table.
And in that spirit, when you look at our history together, your clan and mine, it seems we're both better suited when working together. Keeping the peace.
I quite agree. But in the trafficking of secrets, you have already done me one service that I appreciate, a generosity, but also a politeness, I think, of informing me at least of the market of secrets, you may call it. A market which I'm sure I'm quite informed that you are probably par excellence at the center of. You would not be as noteworthy as you are if you weren't. And you are doing me a politeness to inform me of the market and who's interested in the secrets. But there's some strategy, and he's going to move a knight in keeping some moves, how shall we say, concealed, even if not revealed.
He's just smiling at the notion, like he recognizes.
Indeed. So my request of you is to continue to keep secrets. Perhaps longer than you might normally from others who might want them. Take your time before the next move is made.
I can comfort you with saying that secrets need to be sought out to be found. And if people don't know what they're looking for, secrets are kept. And people don't know what they're looking for. He looks at you.
It's true. It's true.
To everyone's knowledge, the prince is perfect, the Camarilla is stable, and we all live happily ever after. He moves a piece again.
I would imagine there's some plant life in this room that has made its home here. in a way that it has throughout the entire complex. And he's going to gesture to it. He says, I find, and he's looking at the board and just kind of studying it a little bit, that like wine, or indeed like ourselves, some things are better when they're aged.
Well,
Secrets are like that. Aged. And
well, they are sweeter indeed, the more you hold on to them.
indeed, that's more to the point. He moves the other night. We have an understanding that way. And the favor I would ask of you is to age them, as it were.
I will age them, but if people come looking, I will tell you how much they're willing to pay for it before I unearth them.
Indeed, even if the price is right, I think there's something to be said for unearthing them at a dramatically appropriate moment.
If you say so, Prince. He smiles.
I'm not here to tell you how to do your job. I'm just here to play the game.
He smiles. He chuckles, actually, and he says, of course you are, Ventru. Of course you're here to tell me how to do my job. Well, he seems... He's not offending you, but he seems old, and he knows what to expect. And he respects the Ventru's ability, it seems, to do business. You can clearly see that.
Mm-hmm. For your part in this city, it is in my interest to make sure that these secrets are kept, obviously. And he's going to move the rook over. He's being very direct now. And it's important that the most vulnerable secrets are saved for last. In exchange, you will find that you receive many favors from me to your benefit.
That is good to know. I'm still figuring out how you can pay me back for that blackout at the shop, but I'm working on something.
Well, these things will happen. But in time, I'm sure you will find a way to do so that we can consider and talk about. It's good to allow certain debts to age as well. I find that the interest accumulates in time. It's a lesson in finance that they've taught me.
And I intend to nurture my investment, he says, looking at you, smiling again.
I see you have some financial wisdom as well. Are you impressed by the surroundings?
Well, it's very colorful and, dare I say, futuristic.
That's what I think about all the time, you know, is the future.
The
Every
garden
day.
part is a bit on the nose, but I kind of like it.
We're eco-friendly here.
Of course you are.
Environmentally forward even. And always marketing. Always branding. There will be, as you probably have heard, an Elysian. The first of its kind to be held in some time, I believe, since all the troubles and since.
I would like to attend. There's a few people attending as well who I haven't seen in a few centuries. It might be fun to catch up.
Quite. You are welcome. That is my gift to you in exchange for your politeness to me.
The
You
prince
are
is
welcome
gracious.
to attend.
I will be sure to wear my best suit.
It seems you do, on almost any occasion. I quite approve. One must always look their best when possible.
There's no need to look unkempt.
Indeed.
It shows you're uncivilized.
Quite. You at least need to bring your best foot forward, in most situations.
Business tends to go smoother that way.
I agree. There are, I think you and I both know, quite a few opportunities when that happens for people to, how shall we say, want to discover secrets or dig where they shouldn't. I need your word that, as I talked about before, you will allow those secrets to age for a suitable period of time, in addition to notifying me. We mustn't be too hasty. And he moves the queen out.
I will cash in my investment at a later date then. See how it nurtures over a long period of time.
I think you will find investing in me will yield the best returns for the future.
I sure hope so.
It's
Again,
just simply a matter of time.
is there anything else you would like to discuss with him before jumping scene?
Alex is going to motion to Darius,
Who appears?
brings him down, and he's going to whisper into his ear. He's going to be like, make sure if he is trustworthy enough, that he assists you, if necessary, in keeping the touchstone safe.
He just nods
Yeah,
briefly.
I don't want them found at all. I trust you, but if he can aid you in this, or if he can at least stymie their efforts to discover their whereabouts, you get the idea.
He nods and says, I'll talk with him after the game.
Excellent.
You finish. Of course you don't win, but he smiles and says, you've been taught well, someone of your age. You are very adept at the game. Naturally, I might add.
Thank you. Your company has been a pleasure, and losing well is something I've been taught.
He bows his head, taking his hat off to the prince. Twirling his cane happily, walking out of the room as Darius is just kind of looking awkwardly around, like he does not seem to understand the lingo that you two guys have.
Keep an eye on him. Consider it training.
He's nodding and kind of scuttles after him, catching up. JK, you have walked out of your burrow because apparently they have walled it in. So the only way you could get out was through the sewers. Because you need to meet Naomi tonight. And you've been walking a good distance in the sewers. You seem to have an inner compass and something guiding you even below ground. Not as adept in the lower layers as the Nosferatu, but You know how to get around where corpses are hidden, where things are generally in the sewers, where kind come. Can you do a wits and aspects for me as you're walking in these sewers? This is your sense the unseen.
With some aspects, right?
Yes, please.
I'll just click that.
4.
4.
4 is not enough. Do you want to spend that 1 willpower to reroll 1?
No.
All right. Well, the beast is here for you. It's okay. You're about to go into a smaller pipe to emerge somewhere in London. You think you're close. You should be in the borough where Naomi's flower shop is. But right in front of you, Henry appears, just going boo, with a big smile on his face.
Can I even see down here?
With a flashlight, I guess.
Good evening, Henry.
Evening keeper.
Could you tell me where I am at the moment?
Kensington and Chelsea.
Lovely.
I just stopped by to tell you you owe me a life boon. And he taps you on the shoulder and walks past you.
And why is that?
You're a little stunned at the bar.
Okay. And JK will just crawl out of the sewers and go find Naomi.
Yeah. You appear a few streets from her home. And fortunately the wind is strong, washing away the stench from below. But Naomi, you're I don't know what you're doing, probably cleaning up or tasks around the shop. But you do start smelling sewer at some point, coming closer to your shop.
Okay. Yeah, she's just tidying up. Just got a new order of plants in. She reorganized it, making sure like plants are with like plants. Each of them are getting enough sun and light that they needed. Testing the soil, and yeah, she gets a foul whiff, and she's like, I don't think the windows were open. What's going on?
Well, heightened senses, and JK,
Yeah.
Before you enter the shop, you see a flower shop has opened across the street. There's a guy outside right now spinning a sign on good deals. Definitely better than the other side, the sign even says. And Naomi, you see JK enter. And apparently he is the one carrying the stench. Or hint of.
She noticed the person across the street and just looks absolutely miffed in the moment. And the only thing that turns her face even a little bit more sour is the giant whiff, where she catches him but can't look at him for a second because the heightened senses. So she turns it off and like, okay, JK, I'm used to you smelling a lot of different things. This is a new one for you.
I had to crawl through the sewers to get here. Sorry.
Yeah, I could have paid a taxi for you.
Oh no, things have been shut down.
Oh no. Do you need to freshen up?
I'd love to, yes.
Okay. The whole top of her house is like 3 layers, and the whole top is just private where she actually lives. So, be my guest. But it's lovely to see you. What's the occasion?
Well, I wanted to have a chat with you concerning everything that's going on.
Okay. I just got the shop in order. Honestly almost took me a week to do so. Yeah, let's go over things. Do you want to quickly freshen up first?
I'll do that, yes, thank you.
Okay.
Remarkably enough, there's nothing on his clothes, just on his shoes.
Oh, okay. Um, yeah, feel free to keep them. Actually, let's put them outside. I will tend to them shortly. I can clean shoes quite quickly, thankfully. Um, I notice my plants are kind of getting excited because it's the smell of like a bit of fertilizer.
The freshest kind.
Yeah. Much nutrients.
I guess JK, he freshens up a bit, maybe sprays some, I don't know, Febreze into his jacket, something.
Yeah.
You're definitely not turning on your nose right now.
Yeah.
And then I imagine you sit down in either your basement or living room.
Probably go to my basement. Yeah, so at the back of the store, there's like a washroom for my employees, and then you walk down further, and then there's like basically a green op. Is that the drug term for it? I don't know. There's a greenery downstairs with a bunch of lights and stuff. So it's quite cozy actually, minus the stainless steel table that addresses the middle of the room.
So what's happened with the flower shop opening on the other side of the street?
I guess since I've been here, competition is a bit inevitable, and I just expanded it a couple of weeks ago. So, I don't know. I haven't been at their store yet, but I figured I'm gonna have to address this soon. But I'll be honest, vampire matters are a little bit more pressing nowadays.
Fair enough. I mean, Waltham Forest's been locked down.
Yeah. How's your morgue? How's that going?
I mean, people are dying, so everything's fine.
Inevitable business. Would I you can do you test blood? Can you tell if blood is like I could pretty much eat anything, but if I slip you a couple of hundreds under the table, could you prepare me some bags if you don't mind? I'm running a bit low.
Yeah, sure. I have some equipment.
Good. I figured you're some of the best supply I got. Yeah, so I don't know, saw hell, came back. I guess my heightened senses haven't really been on, so I guess the wraiths, I should say, haven't really been paying too much attention to them, although that's been all over the news. Anything new for you?
Nothing particular at the moment, no.
Nope, nothing
Yeah.
at all. You hear your beast.
She kind of looks at him with like a sly glance, being like, "All right, keep your secrets."
But what did happen to you while you were on the other side?
Let's just say I came back with something that was truly unwanted, and I'm still trying to do research on that. Even our poor Victor isn't aware of whatsoever. But he recently tried to help me. She kind of points to her shoulder, and there's been some branding.
It looks like a ram of a sort on its back legs. Yeah, ink, black ink. But
Yeah.
with your sentient seeing, you can see it's glowing.
Yeah.
In a,
Is it a symbol I recognize?
you can do
yeah,
a occult and intelligence. Really high difficulty though. because this is obscure shit.
I will try.
Yeah, she exposes her shoulder where the imagery is.
1 is not enough.
I will reroll some dice.
3.
3.
You think you've seen it in some book about bloodlines somewhere. Maybe it was not the actual book itself, but a part of the Book of the Grave Wars concerning bloodlines, but you can't remember which one.
Yeah. Well, let's just say I took quite a big trip, and everyone, and I mean everyone, insisted that I talk to JK. KJ, sorry.
Fair enough. I mean, he is dealing with stuff as well, it seems.
Yeah, I'm scared on how deep that portal goes.
We'll find out when the time comes.
And that is true JK nature. Should we contact the rest of the coterie and see if there's any bigger news than...
You know, there's a council meeting
Okay.
past midnight sometime. You still have a few hours, but Alex is a busy man, so it's usually late in the night.
Yeah. I guess she texts Alex and just wants to confirm like time and location.
Well, you don't get a text back from Alex, you think, because this has nothing else than the information you're asking for, so it's probably Darius. It's just the time.
Yeah.
Like 4 zeros. That's it.
All right.
Do you need any help getting rid of the people across the street, or do you think you'll be fine?
Well, to be honest, I don't even know if they're of kin of us. I really hope not, because that adds a whole other layer. If they're not, I'm sure I can whip up a poison or two. She says that half jokingly.
As you say poison.
Yeah.
There's something coming from the stairs. What do you do?
Shit. She...
It's just your rapid reflexes kind of out of the corner of your eye. You see something.
Yeah. She grabs... shit. She leans back, hiding her back, and basically grabs her bag. I don't know if she's quick enough to draw a sword or a dagger, but
If that's your reaction, then yes.
okay.
You have one thing you can try to. So if it's to arm yourself, then yes.
Yeah.
JK, to you, this just looks like you're having a normal conversation. All of a sudden, Naomi pulls out a knife really fast, and a beautiful blonde man appears next to her, really, out of nowhere. He's just smiling at the knife. Evening, dear. It's James.
Oh, fuck. You asshole.
Having a tea party, Harvey. He's just sitting down, throwing himself into the most available chair, putting his feet on the table.
What have I told you about this? You've already crossed 8 boundaries. Do I have to teach you a lesson?
Boundaries, dear. This basement is not watered.
She really wishes.
And
Sorry.
who is this, if I may ask?
Oh, James, a pleasure to meet you. He hands out. He's looking very charming. Very, very, likable, actually. JK, as you're shaking his hand, or looking into his eyes at least. Let me just find the roll here. Can you do a composure and wits? Well, your difficulty is 6 with a crit.
Fuck.
Do you want to reroll 2?
I'll reroll 2 dice. And I hope that I get 2 successes. Oh wait, should I also add my unswayable mind?
Yeah, yes, you should.
Sure.
Very much so.
Okay, then I'll
Just
Re-
add it to the reroll, I guess.
yeah, it'll just be 4 dice then.
3 is enough?
Haha!
7? Well, he is beautiful and he is trying to do something, but it's not working.
I'll
And-
shake his hand.
He forces out a sigh, like, he's disappointed that it didn't work.
When I shake his hand, can I use Touch of Oblivion?
You can try. At least.
Please.
With joy. Wait. I think we both have to make a strength and brawl.
He's using Dex for dodging. Very much so.
Fair. I'll rouse first.
Well done.
Because he does have fleet and so on.
I'll also rouse to add myself some. Oh yeah, nope. I'm not gonna beat that.
Damn.
With my 1 dice.
Well, right before you touch hands, he realizes what you're doing and just pulls it back. Why so hostile?
You're the one who tried to do something to me first.
No, not at all. Why is he so hostile, dear? Who's your friend? And you know he already knows. He's just asking.
Yeah. She looks him up and down, ignores everything else and being like, I know why you're here. Let's just get down to business.
Well, why I'm here? I want to know why your dad is on his way from Canada to London. I can't have that, dear. That will be a masquerade breach. You've been dead for quite a while, if you don't remember.
She kind of gives him like a cheeky smirk and be like, I thought you were my dad.
In a sense. Well, you're human dad, then.
And so be it. You only met me one night. What else could you have invested me for?
I'm here to tell you this so you know how to react, because I'm taking care of you as always, even though you don't want me to.
She swear to God, she's gonna have a middle of an aneurysm. She, her eyes glaze over hard, and then she kind of snaps out of it and kind of goes into the ever so charming to try to match his energy as much as possible, as much as she fucking hates it.
JK, their language and everything as they're interacting, you can see it. She's not usually like this, but when she's with James, there's no hiding she's Toreador.
Yeah.
She can't fake being a Tremere. It's like he brings something out in her. Her motions are much more fluent, not so stiff. She's not so calculated and precise. This seems like this man is getting to her with every word, even though he sounds quite charming and there's nothing overtly hostile or what's the word I'm looking for? Insulting in his words.
Does Naomi still have her knife out?
Yep, I imagine so.
Yeah, it's she's not hiding it. Just if anything, she's kind of playing with it in her hands.
So did you just show up here to taunt her? Or...
No, I came to tell her a potential masquerade breach is on the way, and a woman of her status should not have issues like that. does that serve a primogen to behave in such a manner?
Yeah, she, as much as she wants to belittle her sire, his eccentric, aristocratic ways do serve a purpose once in a while, at least. And she hates to admit that he's actually right.
Do you admit it out loud, or are you just having
You kind of see it on her expression. But yeah, she says the first half about the aristocratic ways.
Naomi, do you think this conversation merits a frenzy roll? Just a very low difficulty one. Would you say Naomi is frustrated right now?
Oh, with the news that she just got?
Or with James, rather?
James, not really, but definitely the news. She kind of accepted that he's probably going to be a fly on the wall type of thing. And as long as she has Primogen and the fact her coterie is surrounding her, she feels a lot more secure. And like obviously the dagger in her hand helps, but he's all talk and less action. With her father coming, that's gonna be a slight frenzy roll for sure. She has no idea how to even approach and dealing with that.
Go to the bottom of your sheet.
Sure.
And then when it asks you for the difficulty, just put in 2. This is nothing like blood or fire or anything.
Yeah.
Well, you do hear your beast in your head saying, "Dear, we should just kill father. That was the agreement."
Okay, so modifier 0, but difficulty 2, right? Okay.
2. That's enough. You feel the beast there, and she is talking in your head.
Mm-hmm.
But you have control.
She might be standing quite still, but you can see like the inner turmoil is just going.
Well, sorry.
JK is just gonna open his little briefcase and pull out a skull and just say, unless you want to end up like Gertrude, I recommend you just leave now, if that is all you're gonna say.
Yeah.
How very Shakespearean of you. He stands up and says, "I grow bored," and then he's out. Like, just blinks out. You're left with the front door of the store just slapping as it closes.
Yeah. Probably a ding of the bell.
Yeah, the ding of the bell, yeah.
What
No,
is
isn't
her
he
beast
just a
gonna
terrible
say?
guy?
Oh, sorry?
Oh no, isn't he just a terrible guy?
If I had Vaughn's power and I could have just, woodland creatures tell me all my wonderful news, I feel like that would keep me a lot more at peace than that son of a bitch.
He could probably teach you.
I'll take him up on it. I don't. I know you have a different relationship with your sire, but it's not uncommon that us Toreadors have to deal with this kind of shit sometimes.
I mean, my sire did try to prevent me and the rest of us from bringing you back.
Oh, that's news.
Well, several times he did ask if it was necessary to bring you back at all.
Spider legs, because I think that might have been partial reason, which I don't blame him. Good to know, though. Isn't the vampire world so pleasing and pleasant?
Quite fantastic at times, isn't it?
Yeah, at least we can do some cool shit once in a while. Does her beast talk to her at any point, ST?
Yeah, she just said that she thinks it's a very good idea to kill your father, and she would be quite annoyed if you're going back on our deal now.
How about, and she kind of has like an internal conversation, I'll make you a deal. We'll see what happens, but 2 things have to be conditional. Coterie has to be present, and also his return has to be confirmed. She knows her sire just likes to fuck with her emotionally sometimes.
Well, it's either Paul, Jessica, or Stacy, dear. I don't care which one of them you kill.
And she, with that being said, she looks at JK and be like, "Hey, so question, how do you keep your touchstones safe?"
Well, one of them I just don't contact.
That's an excellent idea. We'll
And the
take
other
up.
one I keep locked up.
That also might be another option. Thank you. Fantastic.
Getting a touchstone basement?
Yo, Alex.
Money,
You got a big
please.
basement, right? Yeah.
Before we jump scene, is there anything you want to do as preparation before the meeting? You know Victor's coming to pick you up. Like a gentleman. And he's never late. So he'll probably be here like 11 minutes to midnight.
Okay.
So he
How
has
much time?
10 minutes to create a portal, and then you'll be there a minute before the meeting. As always.
And how much time is that exactly?
2 hours from now.
2 hours? Okay. Am I hungry? I'm not hungry. She basically looks at JK. I'm gonna take a bath. You do whatever you want. Yeah.
When you go to the shower, JK, I imagine you still sit in this room. And the moment Naomi leaves it, all the plants, they turn towards you. Like they're
Oh.
looking at you. They don't do more than that, but they're clearly following you.
Fascinating.
Is there anything?
Oh yeah.
Sorry?
Does she come down and be like, be on your best behavior?
They kind of flatten out along the walls. All the vines
Yeah,
going down again.
Yeah, she's talking to her vines, not you, JK.
Is there anything you want to do, JK, before the meeting? Or do you just hang out?
I'll just hang out.